Hi, my name is Chiranta. I'm from Sri Lanka. I bought a Vivitar SF-4000 slave flash unit from eBay, and I ran into some problems. I would like to share with you how I solved this and what are the problems. Basically, the first problem was that when I installed 4 batteries that were basically rechargeable NiMH to 450 milliampere energizer, the first problem I encountered was the flash unit contacts did not contact with the batteries correctly, and thereby I did not get it turned on. Basically what I had to do was I had to remove the whole unit, and I had to bend these contact pins so that it would contact correctly with the battery. That was the first problem. I had to remove the whole unit. Okay. The second problem I encountered was basically the NiMH 2450 milliamperes gave only 50 shots. That means after the 50 shots the flash started to miss. Okay, that means it would sometimes fire and it sometimes would not. That was very irritating, and basically then what I basically was very dissatisfied with the product, and I could not return it due to the shipping costs being exorbitant, and so I decided to just throw it away. But yesterday, around 2 days ago, I just mistakenly installed some alkaline batteries, standard alkaline batteries, and voila, it started to work. It was working full blast. So I took it for an event, and I noticed that the alkaline batteries would only last for 150 shots, and afterwards the flash would start to miss, as if the battery is not enough. It would miss, and that was very irritating. But 150 shots was decent for a non-power output uncontrollable output flash. But the problem was 150 shots with 4 alkaline batteries was a bit expensive, so this was a big problem. So what I needed to know was why it was working with alkaline and not NiMH, and then after googling a bit I found out that the NiMH is 1.2 volts and the alkaline battery is 1.5 volts, and thereby the NiMH would only provide 4.8 volts for the 6 volts flash. The flash was not tolerating the voltage drop. So basically what I wanted was I needed rechargeable batteries to work with 6 volts. To achieve this, what I did was basically I removed the whole unit. So basically the main idea was, okay, 6 divided by 1.2 is 5, so I need 5 batteries, so this only would hold 4. So what I did was I went to the local electronics store and I bought an external battery case. It's a standard external battery case. So what I did was I removed the whole unit again, and I disconnected the positive terminal here, and I took out that wire by drilling a hole here. I took that wire outside, so the circuit positive line was outside the flash. Then I soldered another separate wire to that disconnected terminal, and I took that out as well. Now I had 2 wires outside, one from the contact here, positive contact, and one wire going back to the circuit. So basically I took that positive I took that positive contact wire and I connected it to the negative of this battery, and I took the positive of this battery and directly connected it back to the wire taking it to the circuit. So basically I put this battery in series, and thereby giving me 6 volts. That was the first problem, and it was solved. Flash was working perfectly at 6 volts, and I am yet to test, but it should work better and have a large capacity. So basically that is the first problem. That is basically the second problem. And the third problem was yesterday when I was taking shots outside, I noticed that this sensor, the flash looks like this. Basically the sensor is covered by this plastic, the sides are covered, and what I noticed at first glance was that the camera's flash, when using it as a slave, is being blocked by this, and the sensor was not detecting when you're shooting at long range. Basically this sensor will detect only light bounced off objects, basically light bounced off objects, other objects. If your camera flash is not powerful enough, this will not fire when you're taking a long range shot. So what I had to do was, my camera was a digital compact small one, so what I had to do was I removed this thinking it would work, but it still didn't work because the sensor was located in a drench. It's a embedded like area, so the sides were covered. The lights on the side did not reach the sensor, so that is why it did not fire. It only saw the front of the view. So what it will see is only the light bouncing off another object. If you're taking long distance, there's no object and it will not fire. So in order for a solution to that, I removed the whole thing again, and I didn't want to unsolder the sensor because it was too sensitive. So what I did was I used basically a tool to enlarge that small hole. I took out the circuit board and I enlarged that small hole. I got an electric shock, very dangerous, it's very bad, it really hurt. So I enlarged that hole and I managed to take out the sensor without unsoldering it to the outside of the flash unit. Basically then I used some double side tape to tape it to the side so that it would see the light from the side, that is where the digital camera would be. And I also used some double side tape to glue this battery casing and everything back together, and basically this was a very successful attempt and it worked. It is working very fine. I would like to just share with you this information. This is a design fault basically by the Vivitar company. This is a Chinese, made in China. This is a Chinese branded slave flash, so careful when you're buying such things, because not everyone of us can unscrew and do such daring attempts, and this is very dangerous. Do not do this at home, do not try it at home. I just want to show you that this can be done. Do not try this at home. It's very dangerous. 400 volts or something, 800 volts, it's a very high voltage. There's a huge capacitor that powers the slave bulb, and it's going to hurt you, it can kill you, so don't try to open this at home. So basically you can ask an electrician to wire this in. That means you have to get 5 batteries, so that you will use NiMH. You can use NiMH 1.2 x5 is 6 volts, 5 batteries. Do not use alkaline if you make this modification, because 1.5 into 5 is a very high voltage than 6. It could fry the circuit. I didn't try. Okay, so I don't want to try. So basically I also completely disconnected the hot shoe. The hot shoe had some short circuit with the basically there were 3 wires, and one of the 2 wires was shorting out, and it was leaking current. So I had to totally disconnected the hot shoe, because I'm only using this as a slave unit. So basically this is what I did. This is a design fault. Do not worry. If you can return it back, return it. If you're okay with using alkaline for 150 shots, if it is okay with you for small range usage, just it's fine. Other than that, I don't think this is going to do you much good. So anyway, just to let you know about these things, I'm Chiranta from Sri Lanka. Have a nice day. And also one more thing, this is a design fault. Do not worry, just return it to the manufacturer. Do not try this at home. Please do not try this at home. This is a very dangerous thing. The circuit has a lot of current. Okay, and also I would just like to show you how it works.